surge on the west coast of Florida has been called unsurvivable once it hits, with surging waters that could reach as high as 20 feet. Joining us now is Republican Senator from Florida, Rick Scott. Senator, great to have you here. You tweeted out this afternoon, quote, 20 feet of storm surge will kill you. If you are being told to evacuate, do this. This is a life or death situation. Are people listening?
They are. I've traveled all along the coast yesterday with the same message. You know, you're probably not going to survive 6 foot of storm surge. I mean, the water just flows in like crazy and then sucks everything out, including you. So 20 feet, for sure you're not. I remember being in Mexico Beach trying to get people to evacuate in 2018. 9 foot of storm surge. It ended up being 15 feet. And I remember some of them didn't, unfortunately, because they said, "Oh, it's only a category 1 or 2 or 3." Ended up being a 5. But I remember talking to family members trying to find their loved ones, and they were washed out. No, it's horrible. It's just horrible.
So what are you seeing on the ground as you've been traveling the state in the last day?
People are worried. People are worried. They're taking it seriously. All of our first responders, our sheriffs, our fire departments, our emergency management teams are all getting ready. But people are taking this seriously, and you have to, because you save your life by doing the right thing. Nobody's going to come get you in the middle of it. They can't. They can't get out there and risk their lives. So people are taking it seriously. Unfortunately, I've heard stories. People are staying like on St. George Island and places like that, which I don't know. Even if you survive, right, then you're not going to have any power. Nobody's going to be able to get to you for a while. So it's actually really, really, really scary. And my heart goes out to people that are going through this. It's no fun to evacuate. Nobody wants to leave their house, but you got to save your life.
Yeah, some communities are offering free shuttles for people to evacuate, and yet even so, we just spoke with a resident of Cedar Key. He's not leaving, not because he's refusing, but because he's worried about the senior citizens in his town who they refuse to leave. We were just looking at a live shot in the break leading up to you from the Key West, and we saw 2 people on the edge of a pier deciding they wanted to go experience the storm as it hit, and to be honest, it looked like they were about to be swept out to sea. You know, we hear all the time that people say, oh, the media says it's going to be bad, and then it isn't bad. And it's like the Chicken Little effect. They don't believe us anymore. And then, of course, then you have a really bad hurricane hit.
Well, I'd rather people evacuate and be mad at me rather than people not evacuate and be dead. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I thought the same thing. That's Southern Point in Key West. And I just think, why are you doing this? It just takes one big wave and you're gone. All right. So you've got to take this seriously. And then think about it, we're going to be without power. So are you ready? Do you have your food and your water? If you don't, then get out as early. Get out now. Don't wait a half hour. If you're close to the coast where this is going to hit, get the heck out now and go as fast as you can and get out of there and save your life.
All right, you served 2 terms as governor of Florida from 2011 to 2019. You've dealt with many situations like this. How does this hurricane, Helene, tonight stack up against the other hurricanes that you helped helm Florida through in your years in the governor's mansion?
Well, Irma was a gigantic storm like this. I don't know which one's bigger, but I guess none of our storms. I mean, the highest storm surge we had was 15 feet. Mexico Beach, we had 9 feet in Irma. So 20 feet of storm surge. And by the way, you lose people at 6 feet, at 9 feet, and for sure at 15. So this is in my lifetime, I've never heard of a storm that had this much storm surge potential.
So what time are you hearing that we've been seeing the winds tick up steadily? We're seeing rainfall begin to fall harder than anybody expected. And yet Helene still hasn't hit landfall yet.
Yeah, well, as you know, Michael Brennan said it's coming. Here's the positive about this is it's going to go fast through Florida, which is positive. We won't get as much rain, but there's a lot of rain in front of it. So we're going to have a lot of flooding, so don't drive into standing water. But the storm surge is going to for sure kill you. And then foolishness, if you drive into standing water, or you touch a down power line, or you walk outside where you have down, there's the risk of down trees. We're saturated right now. The state has had a lot of water, so we're going to see a lot of down trees, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to have a lot of electricity loss. So there's so many things after the fact that you've got to do. And then I think you have a picture right now with Cedar Key.
Right.
and Cedar Key just had a fire this last week and lost a couple of their restaurants. But I mean, all those restaurants are going to be underwater. I mean, I've been to Cedar Key so many times. I was there about a month ago. That whole area is going to be underwater. So you've got to get out of there and save your life.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.